All right, I started the recording. Let's keep going now. So we're gonna first create the bucket. We'll let's say call it bigger smart forms. We're gonna keep going and just use all the defaults. It'll go ahead and create the bucket. When we go to the bucket, it's kind of empty, of course. Then I'm gonna go to IAM. So in IAM, I'm gonna go to users and no, I'm not gonna go to users. I need to go somewhere where I can have
create a user for this application, like
yeah, no,
because like say somebody was just they had an AWS root account, right? They're not necessarily going to have any users there. So would somebody want to create a user specifically for this?
okay. So I have this full access user. Yeah, so I think I have this full access user already. But if you don't have a user, then yeah, they will have to create a user. Do you want?
Then all they need is an IAM user change password.
Yeah, yeah. So let's add a user. That's fine. So it's a smart form admin user. We're gonna give them a programmatic access. And then we're saying next set is permissions. And so
you probably want to give them as little as they need.
I need to give them full access, right? So, so add user to a group. I will create a new group. And so basically we want to give them a bunch of accesses. Essentially this user needs access to S3, API gateway, and Lambda. So we can either do just that. So S3 full access, Lambda, full access, and API gateway, admin access. So we'll just name this role as smart form admin group. So I created that group, and then we're going to give this user access to that group. We're not setting any tags. Yeah, that's just to review. The username is smartform admin, and we're adding it to smartform admin group. And then we're sort of creating the group. So this is a time when sort of it shows access key ID and secret access key. You just download that CSV. You can also see that from here. So, so one thing is that it will only show you this secret access key only once. You might want to note down in the documentation, and later on, like if you want to come back and sort of look for secret access key for this, if you haven't downloaded this, there is no way to do that. So you'll have to recreate a new access key ID and a new secret access key. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, and for that, basically, you can go here and sort of go to security credentials. You can always create a new one from here. Okay, so then we have our credentials that we're going to use to access S3. which is these ones. Go back here. So now we already created the S3 bucket. We created the credentials to use it. We're going to go to Lambda to start creating the functions. We're going to say create function. We're going to first rule for generation of rules. Select Python runtime. Just make sure that this is like by default, it creates a new role, so you don't even need to show that. Just hit create function. Okay. It will create the function for us. Okay, so so now it's actually gonna sort of, it's showing you the different layers of that function. It's, for example, showing CloudWatch logs here. That means, you know, whatever logs that get generated, those are gonna get stored in CloudWatch logs. That's okay. So you need to select this gen rules func. So one way is to sort of have those functions right here, but since we needed some additional packages, we're gonna upload our whole package to S3, and then we're gonna point this to that S3 location. So now how do we upload to that? So and where are the functions, right? So you go here, and we can share this link. This will be a public link. One has to go here on this URL, and I can add that URL to your Slack. So one has to go to this URL. They can just either, you know, sort of git pull this or just download this as a zip file. If they go here and they unzip this, let's see. So I'm going to this folder where I downloaded it all. We've created this script called build.sh. All they need to do is run this script, build.sh. It will go ahead and fetch all the dependent packages. And ultimately, it'll build a zip file, but you need to go to a parent directory to get that zip file. So this zip file will get created, smart-forms-lambda-funcs.zip. And then now we're going to upload this to S3.
Are there any dependencies to be able to like build that?
Depending.
You have to install.
So you should have Python installed. That's a good point. So yeah. So
I don't think I have to go into how to do that, but I just have to, I'll have to make a note of it. You know, so you need Python 3 or something.
Yes. Yeah. I don't think we need to really. I hope that we don't need to really guide people on like how to download Python 3. But if you look at this, basically all it's doing is if there was any previously built artifact, it's just removing that, it's downloading the packages, giving them permission, and then zipping all the packages, and then these two Lambda functions that we have written specifically for generation of rule or getting recommendation. Okay.
They would also need PIP3, and for some people, it's not actually PIP3. It's like PIP 3 point whatever. But so they may have to modify that. But
yeah, so it's I see. Well, if it is PIP 3 point something, usually you will have PIP3 as well.
okay.
Okay. Okay. So where were we? So we were here. Oh, sorry. I'm just going to log in again on a separate window, or actually I can just, oh, shoot. So we were here in the generation of rules. I'm gonna first go to S3. Actually, you should mention this as the first step. Like, after creating the bucket, one should download this code, create the zip file, and add it to this bucket, and then go to Lambda functions, if that makes sense. So, did we have that? Yeah, this one. So again, we just selected that. It's about 8.7 MB. It might take a little bit. Not granting public access, keeping everything default. Next, and it'll just go ahead and upload that to S3. Okay, so now if you go to this link, this basically is providing the URL of this object. And we are simply going here, and so we are saying upload a file from S3, and I'm giving it the path, and just saving it. So it'll go ahead and save it. Okay, so let's go through this one by one. So the handler really is the file name dot the function in that file name. So since we had the first one is genrules func, that's the file name. And then the function in that file name is genrules handler. So it should be the file name dot function name is what we need to provide here. So I'm going to replace this with, since we had these YAML files, I'm just going to use those. Get these names. But of course, you don't need to talk about that over there. This is just for making my life easy when I'm demoing to you. But essentially, you need to.
Yeah, I mean, from their perspective, they just need to know what to put there, essentially. But
yeah, they need to know, and we just told them that, hey, like you put this string over here. Okay, so that's that. They can sort of keep doing all the work and then hit save, in the end. But I just tend to sort of keep saving whatever I'm doing here. For the environment variables, so we need to create all these environment variables. So I'm going to just create them one by one. Okay, so this key ID and the access key is something we're going to use from our the new ones that we have. I'm not going to copy those. And this is basically, we are saying that this is any endpoint which is giving the list of all the smart fields. Okay. So for now, because that is our endpoint, that's what we're keeping it. Minimum confidence and minimum support is what's the minimum confidence and minimum support values we want to use in our a priori algorithm for association rules. So that's what that is about.
So
Yeah.
should we say like, okay, well, this suggested value is 0.5, but you can tailor this to your
Yeah, you can always adjust it
whatever.
based on your need. That's what we're gonna say, yeah. And then I'm just gonna copy this name in the bucket. Now let's go and look at what are the values for. So this is the XSP ID, and then this is our access key. Okay, so that's that. I'm just gonna go ahead and save everything. Okay, so now for the very first time, if someone is creating or sort of they want to test it, they can do it. No, sorry, okay. There are a few more things you need to do. So by default, the timeout is 3 seconds. You might want to like do that like 1 minute just to be on the safe side. Although usually it should not take that long. Actually, this is the generation of rules. So what we're going to recommend is keep this as 5 minutes. Because depending on the size, and in this, like while documenting, you can mention that as the size of the rules grow, the number of records grow, the generation of rules can take more time. Okay.
All right.
And we do have a sheet, right, where like we mention for 100,000 rules how much time it took us, and based on that they can sort of do some calculations. Okay, so the other thing that we want to do is we want to add a trigger here. So we're gonna add here. Basically it's a drag and drop thing, so you can pick this. You actually just click on that, not drag and drop. So you click on that. We are basically adding that as a trigger, and you click on this CloudWatch events thing. And basically it says there's a configuration required. So here for the trigger, you just say like create a new rule, and so we can just say like or actually just use this existing gen rules. Actually, let's just create new one.
Because that's one that you created already, right?
Yeah, that might have been some other already created one. So gen rules. CloudWatch trigger. So here we're gonna say rate 12 hours. So basically what we are telling it is that the CloudWatch should trigger every 12 hours. And so that means that every 12 hours, this rule will get sort of kicked off. If that makes sense. And so
why did we pick every 12 hours? I thought we were going to do like every at night.
Yeah, I mean, so this will be a configurable thing for the users. So
like 24 if they wanted to do it nightly.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, maybe let's say 24. But you might want to put it like, hey, if you're getting way too many forms within like certain duration, then you might want to increase the frequency of. Like, it really depends on how how up to date you want to keep your rules with the forms that get generated.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay, so that's that, and then we're gonna say add, and then we're gonna say save. Now it's saving the CloudWatch event, and so that trigger is added. And from here itself, user can go and see that CloudWatch event, or they can later on sort of go to those. Sorry, this is actually just showing the rule for that. You want to go to CloudWatch and go to CloudWatch events. Where are the events? Why is it not created?
Under rules.
Okay, so this is where it took us. Okay, so then this is the rule then. Okay, so it took us the right place actually. So if you click on this, the link actually was taking us to the right place. So which is this, and then user can later on like go and edit it directly here. So fixed rate, 24 hours, but they can choose like minutes, days, or hours. And
One thing they might want to change is like when, what time does it run, that kind of thing. So like right now it would run 24 hours from the time it's created.
Yeah.
So like it would run every 24 hours at, what is it? Like 2 Eastern right now.
Yeah. So I think they can actually also give a cron expression, and that will sort of let you choose exact time of every day when it would run.
Or imagine that event pattern lets you do something similar too. But we could just have that as sort of like a footnote. We could say, hey, like right now it'll run every 24 hours from when you did it, but if you want to configure it further, it's up to you.
Yeah. You can sort of use this cron expression to like have a more granular configuration. All right, so that's that. So now it's been set up to sort of run every 24 hours already. But let's say someone wants to immediately try running it. So you can create a test event for this, just for you to be able to test it, like the user. We don't need to pass any values, so we'll just keep these empty. We'll just call gen function test. We'll create this configuration, and basically user can now sort of click test, and it will generate the rules over here. So it will go to the end, and yeah, so it will generate the rules. Here it will show the details. So basically, what's returned here is 200 OK, and it says rule created, updated. Here it's showing some logs about the rules, how much time it took, how much was for how much time it was built. Yeah. So that's that, and basically again it went to this S3 bucket and created the rule files over there. So if we go here now, and if I hit refresh, it's showing me all the rule files that got created based on those rules. Okay.
All right.
So that's the rules thing. Now let's go to Lambda again and create another function for
we're getting the recommendations.
yeah. Get recommendations func, again, Python 3.7. Here again, we are saying just create a new role. Here we said create the function now. Okay, so now I'm clicking on this. Again, we're gonna give it the paths to the same S3 file. So keep in mind that the same S3 file has functions for both of these. Okay.
So it's the same zip. It's just a different handler.
Yeah, it's just different handler. Basically, end of the day, that zip file has these two files. One is for gen recommendations func, and one is for gen rules func. So because we're gonna give gen this file name and the function name in that as a handler over here, so that's what it's gonna use in this one. Oops.
So how I'm going to kind of structure it is that I'm going to start off with sort of like the deployment manual. It's like, okay, well, you just want to deploy the thing, right? Like you just, you download these files. So like you download the zip file, and then you would just go ahead and set up, AWS, and then like after that, I would say, okay, well, if you want to generate, these Lambda functions, like say somebody wanted to modify them or something like that, then I would show, okay, well, here's how you go and get the code from Git, and here's how you build it.
Okay. So you're saying that do we want to even have people go to Git? Yes, I think we should.
Yeah, that'd be part of the developer manual. So like the way I see it is, I think at the beginning would be like the IT manual, basically just how to install, what's already been compiled, and then after that would be like, okay, well,
Sure, yeah,
you want to actually change the stuff and build it. That would be more of a developer.
yeah, that's right. Okay. Okay, now we are creating this one now for the recommendation. So I have that handler over here. Again, we're going to create the environment variables quickly. Okay, so that's that. Here again, although this should not take this long, but we're going to just make this 10 seconds.
You had 5 minutes in there.
Yeah, so the gen rules will take that long, but get recommendations should be within 10 seconds.
Yeah, I just mean you have to delete the 5.
Oh. Thanks.
All
right. Okay, and now we're gonna add an API gateway. So we just clicked on this API gateway. It took me here. It says configuration required. We are saying it create a new API. For the security, we're just gonna keep it open. Additional settings. You can just leave the default names that it selected. Yeah, and so let's note this one down. I forgot whether we had to do something on this one or not. Anything else? No, I think that's pretty much what it would be. I'm just gonna hit add, and then I'm gonna save, and it's creating the API gateway for this. Excuse me. Did we put this thing to? Don't remember. Let me do this again. Okay, so we have set this up. We created the. We have added the variables. We have increased the timeout, and then we have created the API gateway.
So it's the same environment variables as the other one?
No, there are a few differences. So these two, the key ID and the access key are same. I think request type endpoint is also the same in both. No, I mean, I don't know the variable name is same or not. And the S3 bucket is actually also same. So yeah, maybe these are just subset of the other one.
It just doesn't have the confidence and lift and all that.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's required for the rule generation only. Yeah, so that's basically a subset of this one. So this one has these three also. Backend endpoint, minimum confidence, and minimum support.
Okay. I'll probably just show the whole list,
Yeah. Okay, so let's go here. Let's go to the API gateway. Let's go to this function. And here, actually, let me see if I did anything here. Can you go to the other function that I have created in your account and see like if there is anything looks any different? Might have to do enable corps. Yeah, so this one I might have done. So this is basically essentially if you're calling this API from a local, let's say, index or HTML file, it doesn't realize which server it's coming from. So we need to enable the corps here. But if it is being called from a server or let's say from Postman or things like that, then you don't need to do this. Actually, you
remind me what we're in Oregon.
Actually, you anyways don't need to do this, so that's okay. Sorry, what is your question?
Oh, you don't need me to check anymore?
No, I still wanted to check. I think it's in North Virginia in your account. Right now, I'm in my account.
API gateway, get recommendations.
So that's okay. I think we'll check that. If it didn't work, then we'll check. Let me just try go and
I got it pulled up right now. But
okay. So this guy gave me the error. Now, yeah, you can take a look, and then meanwhile, I'm just testing the API. That I don't know what did I do here.
it looks the same except for the key is different, obviously.
Okay. So, anyways, so I went to this and basically clicked on test. Let me show you. So I went here, I clicked on test, clicked on get, and then here, like, I'm just putting type is equal to clinic trial, and field is equal to something, something. And then I'm saying test. And I don't know why it says internal server error. Customer function error name input fields is not defined. Oh, I probably have some error in my. Give me 1 minute. Oh fuck! I deleted a couple of lines from here.
Let's close it, don't save.
No, I accidentally deleted something from my code. Give me 1 minute here, okay? I'm just gonna